tutorial. So I'm going to show y'all how I do my locks. They're goddess locks. I customized these locks. I didn't make them all the way, but there are ones that I'll show you later on that like I actually made. Like I made this blonde one completely like from scratch, and I have some ginger ones and some orange ones I made from scratch too, because the hair is inspired by fall. So basically I'm gonna show y'all how I installed these locks. So right now I'm just doing it like regular speed of how I do it, and I know that this looks kind of complicated, but I promise that I will slow it down. I'm just showing you that once you're able to do it, it gets so fast. But I promise you that process to do what I just did took me like 2 hours to figure out. I was very frustrated, I was very tired, and I was PMSing, so I was in my feelings. You get your lock and you put, so your lock will come like this. Like even if you make your own custom locks, it should have a little hole at the top that is like this. I don't know if it's focusing or not, and if not, I'm so sorry. And then you will open up that hole just a little bit to put it on your finger, because this opening needs to be easy to access and not all bunched and twisted up, so that you can have a clean crochet through your hair. So then you're gonna grab, let me move this one out of the way because that one's already done. You're gonna grab your hair that you braided and twisted down, and wherever you want to put yours, I put mine kind of like at the end of my braid, at the beginning of where my twist starts. And you're gonna take the hole that you made on your finger and hook it on one side of the crochet completely. Make sure you don't have any hair, because you don't want it to be messy at the top. You want to keep that part as clean as you can. You're gonna pull it through your hair in that like opening that you push the crochet loop through. Then you're gonna take your hair, like the bottom of your hair, and push the crochet loop through the top, the base of the crochet where that opening I said was very important is at, and make sure you get all the way through that cleanly. Hook your piece of hair and pull that piece of hair through, unhook it, and then pull it all the way through, and it should make a perfect knot with your crochet. And this way you're not doing too much pulling through of this crochet, because soft locks are kind of easy to untwist and stuff. Like you could undo this lock, you could do a lot of different stuff with it. It's just Kanekalon hair processed in a different way. And so sometimes you see people pulling the lock all the way through, and if you do that, if you make your own custom lock, sometimes you can undo where you've sealed it off, because I don't use glue or heat or anything, just because I feel like whenever you burn it, it makes it kind of like stick to everything, and that could get very annoying as your locks get older and older, because they'll stick together and then they could possibly unravel. And then with glue, it's just like chunky and I don't like it, but this is my personal preference. But that's just my observation. I just don't like the longevity of it. And I've never had a problem with unraveling without putting glue, as long as I do it very tight. And then you're gonna take your crochet hook and loop it through your braid one more time. Just for people that have longer hair, I don't want to be wrapping all the way down the lock. So I'm gonna attach these other ones real quick. So now all the pieces are crocheted into their braids, and we're gonna wrap them now. The next piece of the lock installation is wrapping them. And like I said, this is a technique that I learned just to kind of like make sure that my locks were a little knotless. I like the flat look. I don't like them when they're bulky, because it's like it makes your head look large, and my head is already large, you know, so I don't need any amplification to the largeness unless it's like curly pieces. So I'm gonna do it like regular speed right now, but I'm still gonna explain to y'all what I'm doing. So at the base, you don't want to do it super tight because remember, we're still doing a protective style, so we want to keep in mind that we don't want to be pulling our hair so hard that we're like creating extra tension that is not necessary and defeats the purpose of the style. So you're gonna wrap it at the base tight, but not too tight, but just secure it at the base very well by wrapping it. And this does not require you to crochet it, and that also takes off a layer of tension by not crocheting it in and like adding extra irritation. My scalp is kind of sensitive, so like whenever I do any styles, I really have to like be careful of like how much I'm pulling on my hair and how much irritation is going on my scalp, because it just like, you know, your hair doesn't like to be pulled and stuff. Your scalp wants to be soothed and taken care of and loved on too. So you're gonna wrap it down the length of your hair, and that's the reason why I crocheted it up, so like the length of the hair is very short, whereas if I left it the regular length, it'd be like somewhere down here. And so you're gonna keep on crocheting, and even if you don't cover every little black speck, that's okay because you can go over it with another piece. But I just like to do it like this to secure my my lock. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit to make sure that none of it's gonna be peeking out or be interfering with the top of this lock. Let me make sure that one's tucked away so I don't end up twisting it in, because that does happen and that's annoying. So you lay it at the base. Can you see what I'm doing? You're gonna take this piece at the base of your braid and lay it underneath, okay? And then you're going to wrap tightly, securely, but not too tight to where you're pulling out any of your hair follicles or any of your brain cells. You don't have enough as it is, so don't be pulling them out. This is for me and for you. I need to save as many brain cells as possible. Now we're wrapping, and we're wrapping, and we're wrapping. And you see, when you do it securely at the top, it's secure enough to where it still can move and it shouldn't hurt. It should be just as tension-free as knotless box braids, you know? So you're gonna just keep wrapping down and down, down. You're going down, down, and the sugar we're going on swinging. And we're not going to play. If anybody knows what the fuck they actually said, comment, because I don't. I just know sugar, we're going down swinging. And do the tension, and do the heat, and that's gonna keep it locked up with the friction. And then we're gonna do our very last one in the front. If this part is not like slow enough, just rewind it and put the speed down, like maybe to 0.5, and rewatch it and it'll make sense, I promise. Because I feel like I'm giving very thorough instructions, but if there's any like, you know, pointers or anything you want to let me know that I could like do better on to help you in your learning style, please let me know in the comments, because I want to make this content as accessible as possible, you know, because I want the girls to know how to make themselves look hot on a budget, you know. We're gonna do the same thing, and I feel like since it's in the front, this is the perfect angle. So you're gonna take your piece of hair, whatever type of hair you're gonna use to wrap, and you're gonna place it underneath your own braid. Then you have a little bit of a tail on this side and the super long tail that you're going to use to wrap on this side. You're going to grab that and you're going to securely wrap at the top. Remember, securely wrap. And do that about 3 times. You don't want to do it too many times because you want to keep the slick and slim look at the top. No bulkiness. And then you're going to wrap it down. And then you're just gonna check and see and make sure it's secure in there and keep on wrapping down. And most of the time, like when you're using your wrapping hair, as long as you get a good enough piece, like that's thick enough and tapered enough at the top, you shouldn't have any gaps in it. Like for this one, I don't have any gaps in it because I got a pretty good sized piece, and that's a smaller piece of my hair just because it's a smaller section of my hair, so it's like easier to cover up and stuff. So just make sure that you balance out the size of your wrapping piece versus the size of and the thickness of the lock that you're wrapping. With locks, to me, you should make it as free and as kind of like not formal as possible, because they're locks and you want them to age well and look very, you know, Rastafari. The sparse covering, I'm going to show y'all how to do it like very quickly because it's like very easy. Get half of the size of the piece that you would typically use because you don't want to make it too bulky. So it kind of, for me, this part is a little bit more tedious than anything else, but this is how you make sure that they look really like professional, because when they look skimpy, it's like, yeah, girl, you did do that at home. It looked like you did it at home. But, you know, the extra touches that give it that kind of like professional or like well done look, because let me let y'all know, it's not only professionals that do good jobs, because some professionals don't do very good work. Like, it ain't bad being a DIY girly when you know how to make that shit look good, you know what I mean? And so you see how there was that black sparse space, and I feel like this is another element that adds to making knotless locks look different, is because you kind of like add the hair onto the lock in layers and it's not all at the same time, so that keeps it from being super bulky, and that also kind of keeps it very flat and like not necessarily smooth, but just like very, you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean. I don't know the word right now. In my mind, the word that's coming to mind is streamline, but who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do to all of them, to kind of just like wrap them and cover as many of the black spaces as possible. I do like some of the black spaces, I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like it just looks kind of good. But I'm gonna cover up some of them because I don't want black spaces everywhere, especially where it could possibly make my hair kind of like come out, because the black spaces is my actual hair. So if it's where it could possibly like, you know, peek out, I don't want any of that. But if it's just like a little bit of a space, I'm like, that's kind of cute, it's giving dimension, you know what I mean? And I love a good like full body color situation, and that's why I chose these cute dimensional colors, because it just gives it so much. You hear the sound? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. We put the mic outside, edit shit out. Like, that is so cute. It matches the cricket just like